Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to 2CTV with another live stream update. Some breaking news in regards to what's going on in Israel tonight and the reaction from neighboring countries and nutters, including the Islamic Republic of Iran and now the Taliban. Yeah, you heard it right. The Taliban are getting overexcited about this whole thing because they probably looked at the situation and saw, oh, well, Joe Biden's mistake basically created us and we came back to Afghanistan. Oh, Joe Biden also gave $6 billion to the Iranians and Hamas, and now they're also invading Israel, so we should get involved. All right, so in this video, we're going to give you all the updates of what's going on with the Taliban's move, because they have now requested a pathway through Iran and Syria and all these places in Iraq to go through to get to the eastern border of Israel. I don't know what they're thinking about. I have no idea what they're thinking, these idiots. So let's talk about this. Before we start the update on the Taliban weirdos, there is some fake news going around which we need to debunk, because we just saw Bibi. Where is the Netanyahu? There was a rumor that Netanyahu has been sent to the hospital. That has now been debunked, and we've also heard from Netanyahu about 10 minutes ago on TV. So there was a rumor saying that Benjamin Netanyahu had to be shifted to the Sheba hospital. The reasons are not clear yet, and they are now saying that the claims are false about his health and everything else. We don't know, but again, you can't really believe anybody. Maybe the debunk is also the lie. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about what we know. Let's talk about what was actually being confirmed, which is the Taliban getting excited and they want to conquer Israel. They basically said we show sympathy towards Hamas, and Hezbollah are getting ready in the north. Hezbollah have said, well, we're going to get into what they've said, because they said we will invade Israel if. There is a big if. But for now, the Taliban have requested a pathway through Iran and Iraq and the Saudi and all those places to go through more straight routes towards Israel and get to the eastern border of Israel. It's going to be quite fascinating because of the relationship the Iranians have with Taliban now. And Saudi Arabia are not going to be tolerant in terms of helping or being on the same team as Iran on an issue like this. So the Iranians and the Saudi have become friends again. So it's, well, essentially a ceasefire, some sort of fake peace situation. And that's thanks to the Chinese Communist Party brokering that deal. But there is still that rivalry. So let's not forget that Saudi Arabia have their own interests at heart to protect as well. But Hezbollah, look at these idiots. So Hezbollah, with the infamous salute from back in the day, yeah, they still do the salute. The Hezbollah forces have said if Israel retaliate, so self-defense, we will invade from the northern border and also from the Lebanon side. I'm like, what's it got to do with you, firstly? I know it's all connected, but it shouldn't be anything to do with you right now. You have a different problem right now. You got the Jordan side, you got the Lebanese side, you got everything else going on. And then the Hezbollah side saying, well, but our brothers in Hamas, our brothers need us. So why not go in now? Is it because you're bluffing again? Is it because Biden hasn't given you money and you feel left out? Is that the reason? So that's why the Hezbollah side are basically just bluffing, whereas the Taliban are also bluffing. I cannot believe they have a plan to go all the way from Afghanistan to go through Iran. It's not going to happen. It's not. Even if they do, they will not reach Israel. They can't. So there's this thing, by the way. Let's talk about what's actually going on in the Labour Party. So they are getting together this weekend for their party conference, and we are already seeing Palestinian flags present at the Labour conference. Of course, the conference officially starts tomorrow, so this guy is standing outside. But in the past, we've already seen every year Palestinian flags and the attack on the Jewish people. We get that. That's just Labour Party. We know that. There is an event on Tuesday, the 10th of October at 7:30 p.m. at Labour Conference. It says what a Labour government should mean for Palestinians' rights. Ooh, that's going to be a juicy event. This is going to be a tough conference for Keir Starmer because he has vowed to challenge the anti-Jewish voices in the Labour Party. And this conference is happening literally the day after the invasion of Israel. So I do not want to be in Keir Starmer's shoes right now because he's going to have a very, very difficult time managing the chaotic situation because they don't do nuance in the Labour Party. So as I've been saying, and earlier I said, nothing should be Puritan. So firstly, do not bring the problems of the third world to our country, as I said. Secondly, feel free to criticize the Israeli government. You can criticize the Israeli... You don't have to love the Israeli government, but you don't have to oppose it. By opposing it, you end up supporting Hamas and Hezbollah. That's a bad idea. Like, you can still criticize the Israelis without actually going around and backing the Islamic nutters. But the other thing is that the former president, well, the 45th president of the US, Donald J. Trump, has officially come out to release a statement and defend Israel. Donald Trump said these Hamas attacks are a disgrace and Israel has every right to defend itself with overwhelming force. Ooh, hello, Trump. Sadly, American taxpayers' dollars helped fund these attacks, which many reports are saying came from the Biden administration. We brought so much peace to the Middle East through the Abraham Accords, only to see Biden whittle it away at a far more rapid pace than anyone thought possible. Here we go again. Well done, President Trump. So not only, obviously, Biden's mess created the fall of Afghanistan, the money that he gave to the Iranians, that gave to Hamas, that's also another issue, right? But everything that he's done undermined what Trump achieved. Trump went around, negotiated peace deals between the Arabs and the Israelis. Everything was working slowly. It was working. Each country, one by one, they were becoming friends again. And then Biden came and said, let's cause some chaos. Because that's what we do in the Democratic Party. So that's what we have from there. But some reactions we just heard, like an hour ago, half an hour ago. Central London, the capital of England, Great Britain, United Kingdom, London, are seeing celebrations on the streets. Celebrations that innocent Jewish civilians, young children and women, vulnerable people are getting targeted. This is what we are seeing in London. I believe this is Edgware Road. Celebrations.
Well, you're not going to understand me. You already know what I'm like. I'm not ready for where I'm going and my dress sense and everything. No.
This whole situation is a little bit cuckoo. Regardless, obviously, in the Middle East, they have different sides. You got the pro-Israeli side, you got the pro-Palestinian side, you got the let's cause chaos side. In London, this is happening. Are you kidding me? Not only that, the pro-Hamas side decided to basically, initially this morning, they invaded, like literally speaking and physically speaking, invaded Israel, right? So, the pro-Hamas supporters ended up now being outside number 10 Downing Street in Westminster protesting after invading Israel, blaming it on Israel.
Well, you're not going to understand me. You already know what I'm like. I'm not ready for where I'm going and my dress sense and everything. No.
Absolute insanity. So, yeah, I don't understand what's going on in our country and in the West. I mean, it's not really a surprise anymore. This is a sad reality. That is no longer a surprise seeing this. I mean, it's not the first time. This happens all the time, by the way. It's a regular footage that comes out from every couple of months. They go outside Downing Street. By the way, if you want to, you can go to one of these marches, see what they have to say. This is not really about, oh, poor Palestinians have been occupied. No, 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 no. They're not talking about that. Go and listen to what they say. They are saying we need to turn the whole world into an Islamic state. They are talking about planting their flag at the top of Downing Street. This is not really about, oh, these evil Israelis came and took away my land. They don't care about that. That's an excuse. These people are the real people who take advantage of situations. Now, there are innocent people, but obviously the Arab side and the Jewish side, they lose their lives on a regular basis. These people don't care about any of that. They just simply take advantage of it. But also, we have celebrations in the so-called refugee camps. All right, I said this earlier in the other video. You have a situation where people from the Middle East and North Africa, people from Syria, Palestine, Afghanistan, Iraq, all these places, they leave their countries, they come to the West, they claim that they hate their governments and their regimes because it's dictatorship. They say they wanted to kill them, right? And then they are now here. It's a good example. Celebrations erupt among Palestinians and other asylum seekers in the Greek refugee camps in response to the Hamas thing. So they claim they leave the Hamas territories and they go, hey, you have to save us. The Palestinian authorities are coming to get me. Maybe I'm gay or whatever. And then they become so-called asylum seekers. And then they celebrate when the same dictatorship that is supposed to be targeting them, that's why they escaped the country, are doing something bad. This is insanity. I keep telling you guys, these people are not genuine asylum seekers. They are infiltrating the West, and they've been doing it for decades. And everybody in the left saying, no, but they're all political refugees. Oh, shut up. All right. Netanyahu said earlier, since this morning, the state of Israel has been at war. Our first objective is to clear out the hostile forces that infiltrated our territory and restore the security and quiet to the communities that have been attacked. The second objective at the same time is to exact an immense price from the enemy within the Gaza Strip as well. The third objective is to reinforce other fronts so that nobody should mistakenly join this war. So he's quite clear, nobody else should mistakenly join this conflict. That's the right thing to do. Saying that one needs to be level-headed. I call on all citizens of Israel to unite in order to achieve our highest goal, victory, blah, blah, blah. So that's what Netanyahu says. We have a little super chat from you guys. Thank you so much, Jean Taunton. £5 super chat saying, I love you. Preventing truth to cow. Oh, thank you so much. I love you guys too. All right, let's go back to the trend of social media attacks on anybody who's defending innocent Jewish people. So we had Jordan Peterson supporting Netanyahu, saying, give him hell, Netanyahu, enough is enough. And then now everybody's trying to cancel Jordan Peterson because he doesn't want innocent people to lose their lives. I mean, the insanity of social media right now in the West. By the way, not all Arabs are the same, and we know that. So this is actually a good one. Amjad Taha, who's an expert when it comes to Middle East and geopolitics, and he's a big name figure. He actually said, as an Arab, he said, we firmly stand with Israel against Palestinian attacks, while Saudi Arabia and Israel were working towards achieving peace and a better solution for everyone. It seems that Iranian militants, driven by bloodlust, preferred escalation. Not everyone in the Muslim or Arab world supports Hamas. Here's to Israel's triumph in this struggle. He also tweeted, in the Arab, Muslim and free world, we stand firmly with Israel against Palestinians, obviously the attacks. As seen in today's videos, it's a struggle between a civilized nation and barbaric backwards militias. They are cowards backed by Iran and only attacked where they knew that you were praying and during holiday times. Stand strong, Israel, and respond forcefully. The world has changed. The world has definitely changed. Those are idiots who keep talking about what happened in 20th century, 19th century. Things have changed. You can't compare the situation. But it's quite interesting because Joe Biden's idiotic foreign policy decision-making is one of the reasons we're in this mess, as you guys know. But one of the other problems that we're now actually facing is where we're going to go from here. Because if you're going to have a divided West on a simple topic that is supposed to be civility versus barbarism, then we are in a bigger mess than we think we are. because the propaganda and brainwashing has been going on for decades in the West, the media and the culture and the institutions making things black and white. Israelis and Jewish people bad, and everybody else, the Arab world, the Muslims, are innocent. That brainwashing has been going on, one-sided story, for the past few decades. It's been damaging. There's absolutely no nuance, apparently. Yes, Palestinian people and the Arabs in that place are occupied. They are occupied by Hamas. They are occupied by a bunch of nutters who are ruining so-called Palestine. Look at the state of that country. At least now an official country, as you guys know. It wasn't before, Palestine. But look at it. Look how they're treating their own citizens. Do you think Palestine is free? Do you think it's some sort of utopia? Do you think men and women are equal? Do you think this is actually even a good Islamic state? No, it's not. Absolutely not. Compared to the rest of the Arab world. Alright, just a quick update summary. We're talking about the Taliban nutters. They got excited over what's been happening today, so they have requested a direct route and a pathway from Iran through to Iraq and Saudi and all the countries to get to the eastern border of Israel and southern, obviously southeast side, to conquer Israel. Yeah, and they're telling me that the leadership of Taliban don't drink. These people are clearly drunk or high on something, because how are you going to do this? Do you really think if you're starting a pathway and you're on your route, some sort of motorcade, you think you can actually get to Israel? You'll be dead by the time you get to Saudi Arabia. I mean, this is just they're all getting excited now. It's absolutely idiotic. Some of them want money, and some of them simply want to get involved with the game. Iranians taught Hamas what to do. They are kidnapping Israelis, and they kidnap so many people. They're going to slowly release them, and they're going to get a lot of money. These idiots, Hezbollah, with their idiotic salute, they're going to go out there. They're saying, well, we will also invade from the north if Israel choose self-defense. So they are saying that Israel is not allowed to do self-defense. If they do it, we're going to come from the northern side. I mean, this... And they're supposed to be the good guys. And the Jews apparently are the bad guys. The Jews are the bad guys. Oh, yeah. It's black and white. There's no nuance, guys. This is the Labour conference, in case you didn't see earlier on in the live stream. The Labour conference are getting ready. Liverpool, I think it's Liverpool. And they got the Palestinian flag already prepared for the conference. There's also an event. Well, there's a few events. Pro-Palestinian and also a couple of anti-Jewish ones. So we've got this one Tuesday, 10th of October, 7:30, annual Palestine reception. And the panel are going to be discussing what the Labour government should do for Palestinian rights. Maybe Labour government should look after the British people. Maybe the Labour government should just look after our own problems instead of bringing in the third world problems into our country. Can we just stop talking about getting involved with other countries first? It's just embarrassing now. And the president, the 45th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, also responded by saying, these Hamas attacks are a disgrace and Israel has every right to defend itself with overwhelming force. Sadly, American taxpayer dollars helped fund these attacks, which many reports are saying came from the Biden administration. We brought so much peace to the Middle East through the Abraham Accords, only to see Biden whittle it away at a far more rapid pace than anyone thought possible. Here we go again. Yeah. Alright, so we got the reaction from President Trump, and then we have also some footage from London, in case you didn't see earlier. This is just crazy stuff. This is central London. But again, the so-called migrants and refugees who escaped the Middle East because Middle East was dictatorship and evil, and the Arab world, now they're celebrating that the Arabs had invaded Israel.
Well, you're not going to understand me. You already know what I'm like. I'm not ready for where I'm going and my dress sense and everything. No.
Yeah, that is London, Britannia. The third world problems are pretty much here. And did you see what Sadiq Khan said? The mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. Oh, get ready for this. Sadiq Khan said, yeah, we need de-escalation, right? Conflicts are bad. And you sound like a fucking 14-year-old. It's like there have been a lot of people on Twitter. It's the same thing with the Ukraine and Russia conflict, saying, "Oh, war is bad. Oh, de-escalation is." Yes, we know that, you little idiots. That's not how the real world works, and you have to do self-defense at times. And now he says, despite all that, make sure, guys, we don't do hate speech. Make sure you don't really attack each other online or in London on the streets, because I'm going to get the Metropolitan Police to arrest you. I mean, oh, this is the mayor of London. Oh, dear. And then we have also celebrations inside the so-called asylum seekers, refugee camps or whatever in Greece and other places. They're celebrating the attacks, which is kind of concerning. Mr. Privacy, thank you so much for the £5 super chat, saying immense price. That's but Netanyahu said, "An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind," getting a bit biblical. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is the other thing. I mean, where do we go? Because the world has changed and people's morality is getting higher, technically, but all of us, we're all also hypocrites at the same time. So when we get angry, if it happens to our family, we're going to do eye for an eye. But when we have to judge someone else, we say, no, eye for an eye is bad. So it is a bit of a conflict of morality when it comes to all of us. I appreciate that. But how far is too far for Israel to respond? That's the thing. Should they just give up and just queue up and wait for the Arabs and the Hamas side to just go and basically eliminate them from this planet? Because do you think that those guys are just going to say, Israel, all the Jews, just leave this land and, well, it's okay, we could just live in a corner? They're not going to do that. They're going to eliminate them. And they've always been saying that for centuries. Foot of Mouth says, shut up, Maya. Well, that is a good intellectual debate skills. Thank you so much. Simon, thank you so much for your £5 super chat, saying the Teletubbies can start off. Oh, I did. See, that could have been my joke. Teletubbies. Absolutely. Yeah, the Taliban crybabies got excited because they were given some expensive toys by Biden, all the tanks and everything else from the American army. Now they think they can actually go all the way to Israel. Teletubbies. Oh, the Teletubbies. Bunch of idiots. And then also there's this really complicated relationship that they have. If they have a Facebook status, remember the Facebook days where you had to have a single or in relationship or complicated status. The relationship between Iran and Taliban will be complicated status, but one of them will keep posting on the other person's Facebook page saying poke or send sheep or whatever, saying, hi, why are you ignoring me? They don't even know what they want from each other. It started as enemy of an enemy is a friend, which is a very toxic thing right now, especially in the Middle East. And now we got the Iranians on the one hand. One day they say, yeah, we work with Taliban. The next day saying, you just attacked the eastern border of Iran. I'm like, did you think the Taliban and the Sunnis can do business with you? Do you? I mean, I'm criticize the Iranian regime a lot, the Islamic occupiers, but they're Shia. When the time comes, the Shia and Sunnis will eat each other out. Oh, that sounded very sexual. Anyway, that's what we have. Terry says, please take care, Mr. Tusi. This is a very volatile debate. I am on your side, the side of truth and a fairer world. You work your socks off to bring these broadcasts. We need your continued broadcast. I'm not going anywhere, guys, and thank you so much for all the support. I can see there's a lot of left-wing trolls in the chat who just hate everything about the West. So the problem we have, the reason we are struggling in the West, is that we are under attack by a number of sides. You got the left-wing anti-establishment who just hate the Western values. You got the infiltrators, whether they basically people from different cultures, especially the Islamists who are now here. But we also have been attacked by what we now call the globalist liberal side. They're people who have no respect for Western values. And these are the same people who've been going around the world in the 20th century causing trouble everywhere else. And now they're bringing all the problems here. So the Western values, the Western side is basically not being defended. Apart from a few of us, you guys, who are doing it, nothing is happening. In the mainstream, none of them can even describe what British values are. what it is to be British, what it is to be an Anglosphere member, what it is to be a Western. None of them do. And it's a sad reality. The liberals betrayed us. The globalists took advantage of us. The Islamists want to completely bring down our identity and our character. And now we are divided. Look at the live chat. A lot of people who are now disagreeing with me, they're not just disagreeing, they're going to be hateful about it. It's just fine. These are the same people, if I were talking about Brexit or, I don't know, some other topic, they probably would be on my side. But suddenly, me saying it's probably not good for innocent Jewish people or innocent Arabs to lose their lives, they're saying, no, Maitu is a shill. He needs to be destroyed. And what else do we have in this? Someone talking about the title of the video. Oh, that is a misspelling. There we go. I just realized I did misspell the Taliban. Oh, jeez. Thank you so much for pointing out. I've just fixed the title of the video. Apparently it said Talib blah 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 instead of Taliban. So yeah, the Talib blah 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 wanted to conquer Israel, and we've been talking about that. Thank you so much, Andrew, for your super chat support, saying, okay, well, what's going to happen when Israel hits back? This is the worrying situation because so Israeli government's strategy, tactics have sometimes been very aggressive, and we could condemn it, and we have in the past. And sometimes, negotiation-wise, over the last 100 years, they gave away so much. On the one hand, they go and build settlements and anger the other side. On the other hand, when it comes to peace deals, they give away too much in the negotiations. In this situation, we could have two options, two different types of versions of response. You could either have a classic Israeli response, which is going to be a bit of airstrikes and sending their forces to push out the settlements again, and that will last a few months, and they will go back again. That's just the usual response. Or that the worst case scenario is the actual escalation, which means Iran could get involved by Israel hitting Iran. Israel have done it before. It's just not been too obvious. They could easily do airstrikes against Iran, or get involved again with proxy wars, proxy battles. So that it's really about what the Western establishments are going to be doing. Basically, the White House and Pentagon. Whether we like it or not, we do live in a globalized world, which means our governments are going to get involved. It's just about how involved they're going to get. And it's just about, is it just going to be about a tweet, or sending money, or putting sanctions on someone, or actually giving out weapons like what we did with Ukraine. So we can't predict what's going to happen, but if the proper escalation happens, because there's a lot of theories saying, well, Israel are going to take advantage of this and just attack Iran, but they can. And there's a lot of Iranians, anti-Islamic regime Iranians, who actually would be happy about it, but not everybody, because they'll be like, well, innocent people are going to lose their lives, and war is never good. And it's the 21st century. You know, you can't really justify conflicts anymore, even if it's based on humanitarian intervention. So I don't think it's going to end well, but it's going to be a long thing. It's not going to be some sort of instant nuclear level sort of situation. It's just going to be another row that's going to go for another few months, for a year or so. Firstly, this has been going on for centuries. It's not really anything new, but we're talking about the current heated debate, let's just say. But there has to be, the Israelis will believe there has to be proper retaliations. If their civilians are being kidnapped, they're not going to sit back and just say, all right, ceasefire. They're not going to do ceasefire. Israelis are going to hit back. It's just about the proportion. Because they haven't had it like this before, for a long time, let's just say. Their own civilians being completely kidnapped. Right. Brad, thank you so much for, 20 pounds super chat. Thank you so much, Brad, for the support, saying keep up the good work, mate, and look after yourself. You're one of the only people speaking the truth. Oh, thank you so much. It really helps with all the attacks and everything else I've been getting. Which I like, by the way. It gives me motivation and energy. Another £5 as super chat support. Thank you, guys. Thank you for everything. Heard about the new low traffic neighborhoods introduced across London? We are effectively being kettled into our own homes. Yes, unfortunately, there is going to be a review, by the way. That the review is coming from central government. I know we don't trust the central government. I get it, but they have promised a review from Rishi Sunak's government because they have an election to worry about. So technically, we could see the collapse of low traffic neighborhoods. But I'm not going to be that optimistic, as you guys know. I always question everything and everyone, including my TC. All right, so here we are. I'm going to take a break. I think I'm going to go and just watch something completely boring. Well, basically something that I don't have to think about, some rubbish on Netflix or whatever, to not think about what's going on right now. Because for the past, 12 hours, I've been thinking about all this stuff, and I went to the Reform UK conference. So much has happened, and it's only, it's Saturday. It's not only Saturday. We got a big day tomorrow as well with more updates for you guys. Labour conference starting. Let's get excited, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so much for everybody who has become a member of the channel. And thanks for everybody who's been sending us super chat supports and super thanks and everything else. And the members of the channel, we're going to do a Zoom call tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to do Zoom call. So if you're a member on YouTube, the YouTube channel page, homepage, there are tabs. There's one that says membership. Check that tomorrow. I'm going to put the link, the Zoom link there for you guys to join. And if you want to join as a member, just click on join next to the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maya2C, and we are the media.